Hello? Today we are going to dive right in to discover a secret about time management that seems to have been hidden in plain sight for centuries. A secret that, according to our sources, is behind many of humanity's great achievements. Let's kick things off with a question that makes you think. What if it turns out that nearly everything we've been taught about managing our time was an outright lie? Just think about it. That could explain why so many people find it so hard to get organized, and would show that ultimately the problem isn't the person, but the method being used. Look, the system we all know, the one we've always used, is what the source calls traditional time management. It turns out this system has been with us for over 230 years, and it focuses solely and exclusively on time. The clock, calendars, deadlines, everything, absolutely everything, revolves around trying to shoehorn tasks into time blocks. And what happens when we focus only on the clock? Well, what we see here, it generates overwhelm, stress, anxiety, that constant pressure. It pushes us to go faster, like a treadmill, without real progress. It's like a hamster on its wheel, running constantly, but getting nowhere. And when the brain feels this way, what does it do? Well, it procrastinates. It's almost a defense mechanism to escape all that pressure. And here's the interesting part. The metaphor they use to compare the two systems is brutal. On one hand, we have the usual time management, which they describe as a baby. She is young, inexperienced, needs you to be on top of things all the time, and well, she gives you sleepless nights. And then, on the other hand, there's the great secret, like a veteran warrior, an ancient method, battle-tested 1,000 times, full of wisdom, overcoming any obstacle with pure concentration. But beware, this warrior approach is nothing new. In fact, the source claims that for over 5,000 years, the most powerful and influential people in history knew and used this secret. From kings to inventors, philosophers, and great leaders, they all shared it. Okay, at this point, the question is obvious. If the secret isn't about time management, then what is it about? And here is the key to everything. The great secret of time management is an approach focused on the task, not on the time, nor the clock, nor the calendar, but on the task itself. It's a complete paradigm shift. And if we had to summarize it in just one sentence, the secret is this: no more, no less, to focus exclusively on completing high importance tasks. That's it. A single sentence that absolutely changes everything. It's not about doing absolutely everything, but only what truly matters. And this, of course, leads us to an idea that at first seems a bit jarring, but is incredibly powerful. With this secret, one focuses on less to achieve more. How can that be? Well, because the value of completing one crucial task is far greater than finishing 10 tasks that lead nowhere. The key is the impact, not the number of items we check off a list. Alright, so how do we put this into practice? Well, everything rests on three fundamental pillars: simplify, complete, and practice single tasking. Let's look at them one by one. First, simplify. We need to go beyond the typical 80-20 rule and move to the 90-10. Of every 10 things on your list, the source says 9 are literally trash or just filler. Your mission is to find that single task that truly makes all the difference. Second, it's about completion. The goal is not just to manage tasks, but to finish them, to leave them 100% done. To manage things is like juggling. Yes, it seems you're very busy, but in reality, you're not achieving anything tangible. Completing a task is like throwing a baseball with all your strength. That truly has a real impact. And third, single tasking. Absolute concentration and no distractions on one single thing. Multitasking for important work is a myth. Look at this quote from Thomas Edison, who with over 1,000 patents knew a thing or two about it, and he's spot on. He said his success was due to something very simple. While others spread their energy on many things, he focused all of it on one thing at a time. And so the idea sticks with us, an acronym: explosive, TNT, which means tasks, not time. Focus always on the task, never on the clock. By doing this, the source says you achieve results that are, well, explosive. In fact, it's said that Edison himself attributed part of his success to not having a single clock in his workshop. Impressive. And to round everything off, and make it easy to remember, the source proposes to us a final framework, an acronym that fits this secret like a glove: HISTORY. In English, the acronym forms the word history, which means historia. And broken down, it suggests that focusing on a single, highly important task brings truly outrageous rewards. Basically, it's a daily reminder that with this method, you can, quite literally, make history. So, by understanding this secret, you join a long list of those who've achieved great things throughout history. They left their mark, and now the goal is to apply this same principle. And all this leaves us with one final question to ponder. What is that vital task by which each of us could, in our own way, leave our mark?